Just like when I said I was up at Real Rogers Park and that small little gang, the Haciendas, they became a factor when they jumped me in the park. They became a factor when I rounded up all the Crips at Real Rogers Park and we went that night and fought them some more. I became a factor.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our debts, or we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, also known as Yahshua, for blessing me to tell my history to the audience. Amen. Been a long time, but I'm back. Good health, gained a little weight, been working out in Planet Fitness, getting my little muscles together. I'm 65 now, and I'm going on 66. And I will say this, I feel so blessed to have a perfect checkup. My blood literally is clean. All the doctor said I need with a full physical with vitamin D, sunshine or milk. I give all glory to the Lord, Yahshua, also known as Jesus Christ. Well, let me get to the matter at hand now. This story is based on true incidents. And I call this the title, Cute and His Blue Ace Deuce. The location and the year, Wats Festival, 1974. The Hacienda Village was the gateway for the original bounty hunters and looters Port Piraroos to enter Real Roger Park on 103rd Street near Compton Avenue. Once we crossed 103rd Street, the East Side Bishops united with us at the Wats Festival. Altogether, we were 40 strong. Bartender Stanley Pitts, Big Herman Jr. from Looters Port Pirate was there also. And Cute of the West Side Crips had the audacity to walk inside our circle and ask us, were we the Crips? I would say this only. Just like the Fantastic Four cartoon, it's clobbering time. I'm done with my autobiography. It will be published as soon as possible. Hopefully before the summer, if not the summer. Only God knows, because He's in control. This episode is also, or incident, I would say, is how I first met Ragtime from 89th Neighborhood Family. I had just paroled from San Quentin Prison in the spring of 81. My little sister lived on 84th and Avalon Boulevard. Swan Hood, 1979 to 1981. I left San Quentin behind with original Little Vince, Piru Street, original Little Nate, original Piru Street, and Porky, original Looters Park, Piru, Dirty Red, original Inglewood Family, Shorty Ray, also known as the original hitman of Nickerson Garden, Bounty Hunters, and Dickie Bird, original Bounty Hunters. Also, from the Crips side, Better Dog Bruno, Grandy, Compton Crip, original Park Village, Big Weeble, original Compton Crip, and Joe D, Atlantic Drive, original Compton Crip. Now back to the streets in Swan Hood, 84th Street. Big Reg, Reno, Tweet, Crenshaw, Big Peanut, Jimbo, and JD. Those was the Swans I knew from 84th Street. Well, one day I was wearing a blue sweatsuit and riding a blue beach cruiser down Avalon Boulevard to 84th Street. My sister lived in the apartments on Avalon in 84th Street. All down Avalon had the writing on the walls: CK, BK, Crip Killer, Blood Killer. I was in the blind. I was riding through a killing zone and didn't even know it. I came to the corner of Avalon and 84th Street near Sigor's Market. As I was trying to cross onto the other side of Avalon and 84th Street, something didn't feel right. Once I looked behind me, I saw a dude dressed to kill, literally, like a real gangbanger, with his pistol in his hand. And he was mad dogging me to the fullest. My spirit told me to confront him, or I might just lose my life. As I put my kickstand down, I walked up to this brother in all blue. I'm wearing the blue, not him. And I said, face to face, I am not a Crip. They call me Bonnie Hunter Fraud. I don't even know this guy, but I know one thing. My life was on the line. So what did I do? Immediately, I took the gamble and I walked away from him with my back towards him. Once I reached to my back, I didn't hear a gunshot. I felt so blessed to ride out of his presence because I knew in my heart, if I wasn't to confront him, I would have been dead on the spot. So anyway, I went to my sister's apartment right on 84th in Avalon, and I kept to myself. And I just felt blessed that I didn't die in my sins that day anyway. Well, what I want you to also know is that as time went on, I got to knowing Ragtime on a personal basis. Me and him, we start bumping into each other. And I used to see him when I used to walk through Swan Hood. And he used to see me, even when I walked through his own neighborhood. I can also remember one time we was banging so hard against the Crips together, I was walking down Wadsworth in the fog, and he was also walking down Wadsworth in the fog. We was probably in between 90th and 89th on Wadsworth. And when I ran into him, I had my pistol on me, and he didn't have a pistol. I didn't want to make him think that I was trying to get payback. So the first thing I asked him was, do you have any bullets? And I showed him my gun. And he looked at me kind of paranoid, and he said, no, I don't have no bullets. And he kept on pushing. But later on down the line, I ended up catching the case inside the Nickerson Garden on this guy who my neighborhood let in the neighborhood, knowing that he was an original Hoover Crip, and he was punking everybody. So I guess I had an attitude behind that. Oh yeah, I'm going to tell you his name. They called him Eightball, also known as Paul Williams, from Hoover. Yes, he called himself trying to run the neighborhood. But when I came home in '81, I didn't like him from the beginning because he looked like a Crip. Even though he had a red flag in his back pocket, I smelled nasty. Oh, you asked me, where did I get that nasty word from? I never used the word crab. That's for the '80 generation. I learned the word nasty from Little Vince, West Side Original Power Root Street. See, what you have to understand is this. People make up false history about sagging. Let me tell you about sagging. Sagging didn't come from no homosexuals. It sure didn't. Whoever told you that, that's a lie from the pits of hell. I'm here to tell you the history of sagging. Sagging is when the Crips start wearing their pants like hip huggers. Yes, hip huggers. They wasn't wearing them off their butt. They had them right on their hips like a gunslinger. And they looked like gunslingers. They looked like so much of a gunslinger, I even started wearing my pants like a gunslinger, right on my hips, like I was gonna get ready to get into a shootout with the police or anybody. Because yes, in '81, hey, I kept my pistol and I ended up using it too on Eightball, Paul Williams, for the simple fact me and him got into it because he thought that he was all that because my younger homies let him kick it in the hood like he was getting a pass. But back in my days, I already knew if it was the '70s, he couldn't have survived in there because we would have threw cocktails in his house. But since the '80s generation them gave him a pass, Gugu, Mike Capone, and whoever else I may answer. But hey, they gave him a pass. So what can I say? I just held a grudge against him because I was investigating about him. I heard he was a troublemaker. He even challenged one of my homeboys, Big A, Andrew Sparks. They talking about Andrew ate cheese on him when I was in San Quentin. Now they letting me know that he wasn't no punk. But I always had in my heart, if he ever tests me, I'm not gonna give him a fair one. I'm gonna take him down with my gun-slinging pistol. Yeah, I was wearing my hip huggers and my gun in my back pocket. So one day, they knew I didn't like him, so they wanted to try to kill two birds with one stone. And who I say they? My little homeboy, Mickey Boy, and Frankie Hub. They gonna come to me one day and agitate and tell me, say frog, yeah man, Eightball, he just robbed one of your customers in the bounty hunter lot. And what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? I say, well, this is what I want y'all to do. I'm from the Deuce Line. You know what I'm saying? The bounty hunter lock is on the Deuce Line. I even changed my name to Boss Frog because I was organizing the Deuce Line. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I had everybody taking turns selling sherm sticks out the bounty hunter lock. So I changed my title to Boss Frog at '81 because I was organizing it to the fullest. And I think that's why they set me up because they didn't want me organizing it like that. Everybody taking turns. But anyway, getting to the matter at hand. What had happened was they set me up. They knew that if Eightball robbed one of my customers, that I wasn't gonna give him a pass. So I told them, Frankie Hub and Mickey Boy, tell Eightball I need to holler at him. And they came back from 111th Street back to 112th Street and informed me that Eightball said, y'all can either fight it out or y'all can shoot it out. Oh my God. Why did he say that? Because now it's on another level now. He done made a threat to my life, and I don't play that, man, especially an ex-Crip or a Hoover Crip or whatever kind of Crip claimed before. I don't care about his future. I'm tripping on his past anyway, because I ain't finna give him no pass. So what did I do? I called my homeboy. Yes, I call him my homeboy. I was bringing him into projects every day with me. Rubber Leg from West Side Devil Lanes. I knew him from Lock High. And I let him know I was having problems with Eightball. He wanted to do something to Eightball, but I said, nah, I'm gonna handle my own hood business. You just, kick back. So me and Rubber Leg, we end up taking my children to the movie because I try to avoid this situation and see how far it's gonna go. So we end up going to the movies, the drive-ins together with my children. My son is 47; he was 5 at the time, and my daughter was 2, and now she's 45. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about how long that was, and I could tell by my children's age that it was a while back. But anyway, getting back to the matter at hand. One day, 3 days later, after Eightball had threatened me, I'm thinking that it was going to blow over, but it didn't blow over. So I'm walking through the bounty hunter lock. Howard Cosell and Sam Thornton say, "Hey man, you better watch yourself, man. This dude he acting like he looking for you or something." Oh, my son, he was point blank looking at me, telling them in response, "I wish he would. I wish he would." And I pulled my pistol out, and my son started crying. And it kind of like hurt my feelings that I pulled my pistol out in front of my son because I was a reactionary back then. So my son, he knew that I was already wearing all burgundy. Now you see me with a gun in my hand, talking about I'm finna handle my business. So what I do, I take my son on 114th and Success, where Sammy Cash's sister lived at, on Success and 114th, Nickerson Garden. But my ex-wife, brother, which would be my ex-brother-in-law, he had children by Sammy Cash's sister from Miller Gangster. So she was also claiming Miller Gangster too, undercover Miller Gangster. But anyway, her name is Shirley. And Shirley, was babysitting my sister and had my ex-wife over there also with her. So I immediately gave them to my ex-wife over Shirley's house, the Miller Gangster hangout, I guess you can call it, I guess. But anyway, I walked all the way to Compton Avenue looking for him because I knew he lived on 111 because he didn't come on the Deuce line too much. So my whole mentality was, it's time to go hunting because I ain't fronting. So when I ran into my boy, Manpower, I told him, finna handle my business. And I ran into my brother. I told him, Little Frog, come with me. I'm finna show you how to do this. And he asked me, what you get ready to do? I said, I'm finna show you how to put work on a real Crip that claiming bounty hunter. Y'all should have been got him up out of here, but now I'm finna show you how to get him up out of here. Because he's not my homeboy, he's y'all homeboy. I don't know him from Adam and Eve. So as we walking down 112th, we get to a side street called Everest. It's 1 block off of Compton Avenue. So what happened? I'm on one end on 112th, looking down Everest. Eightball is on the other end, looking down Everest Street, but he's on the 111. So I'm on the 112, he's on the 111. So we in the middle of the street, just like two gunslingers, getting ready to go at it. So what we do, we walk down the sidewalk, and he walked down the sidewalk because he had heard that I was looking for him, and I heard he was looking for me. But only this time, I was strapped because I forgot to tell you one thing. A couple of days prior to this day, I tried to test the water. One of my homegirls, TC sister, Gwen, I tried to sell some Sherm to her, and she told me, hey, I don't know what's going on with you and Eightball, but this guy had a shotgun, and he was looking for you and talking about where Frog at. And so he actually came in my parking lot where I sell dope at, and he gonna kill me right there in my parking lot with a shotgun. But he didn't know that I knew this. So I was up one on him. So he looking for me at nighttime to assassinate me. Okay, but now fast forward, it's broad daylight. I got my pistol in my back pocket. So I'm kind of figure he don't know that what I know, that he's looking for me prior to this, trying to assassinate me in the darkness. But now it's daytime. So now when we meet up each other in the middle of the streets, the first thing I tell him was, I'm not Michael Malone. You can't bust me in the face with no quarter English and put no scar on my face. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Andrew Sparks. You ain't finna try to check me on nothing. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? I'm not Caleb Washington. You're not finna body slam me on no card. Oh, he was a big, thick, heavyset guy, built like Mike Tyson. He probably would have got the best of me. But guess what? He messed up when he was looking for me with that shotgun. Now he's in the blind, and he don't know that I'm finna gun him down. But I don't want to just shoot him in his head because I already know I ain't gonna get away with it because too many people in the projects know our business. So what I'm finna do, I'm finna do what I got to do. I'm finna make him out of a Crip that he is. And this is what I did to him. I walked up on him and I said, guess what, partner? You ain't my homeboy. He responded back, you ain't my homeboy neither. I responded back again and said, you's a buster. He responded back and said, you a buster. And he squared off on me. So I said, okay, just remember, I pointed in his face just like this. I said, remember, you're not my homeboy. He pointed back in my face and said, you not my homeboy too. I guess he called himself making mockery. You know what I'm saying? Imitating me, clowning me. I got so upset. I said, that was the last straw. And we face to face almost. Matter of fact, we wasn't face to face. We had about 5 yards or a couple of yards in front of us. You know, so I pulled out my pistol, and when I drew down, guess what? He tried to rush me. Yeah, he was playing defensive line, trying to tackle the quarterback. When he ran towards me like a rhino, I booyah! Caught him right in the kneecap. He fell right in front of me. I like a big rhinoceros, but only this time he was on the ground looking up at me. And he almost grabbed my pistol because he reached for it. He reached for the barrel of the gun when I shot him point blank in the kneecap. Now I got him where I want him. He's on his knees or on his back looking up at me. And all I had to do was just serve him. Booyah, 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 booyah. Guess what? I bust on him point blank so many times, it started feeling good. I must have been a sadist, huh? I had to be, because it really felt good. I was still clicking the gun on him. Click, 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 click. My brother, he was shocked. Mike Malone, the rat, he was shocked. So guess what? Only thing I can do was say, you're blessed, man. You're blessed. And guess what he said? Why you didn't kill me? Why you didn't kill me? Why you just don't kill me? And I looked at him, looked at everybody, and I walked away. And I felt blessed I didn't kill him. But you want me to tell you something? After I did that incident, I ran through the Bounty Hunter lock, saw my boy E.T., Eric Thornton, which is Sam Thornton and Snoop Thornton's little brother, and I gave him my red flag. And I told him, ding dong, the witch is dead. Just clowning, get my clown on. Now it's time for me to make mockery. The first thing I did was caught the RTD on Central and Imperial, going where? Piru Street. Guess what? When I got to Piru Street, the first person I saw was AC, King Bubba Louie. And I asked him, where Little Vince at? He said, why? Why? I said, because I need him to hold my pistol for me. I just got through handling my business. And he said, give it to me. I give it to him. I said, man, I'm not giving you nothing. And put my pistol in my back pocket and walked away. Fast forward. 3 days later, the police bust me right in front of the gym, hanging out with the lot boys. Because I heard that his brother was looking for me. He had a brother, I think, my age, because he wasn't my age. I got a brother named Little Frog. At the time, I was 23. Little Frog had to be 20 or 19. So that's how old Eightball was. So him and my brother, they had a good rapport. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing was, okay, I know I'm finna get caught now. He done snitched on me. You know what I'm saying? The police looking for me. I let him live by shooting him all in his kneecaps. Oh yeah, he got hit all in the kneecaps. For real, for real, for real. I wasn't trying to catch no murder. I was just trying to slow his roll. That's all. Let him know he's not in charge of my hood. because this is my hood. I've been living there since 1965 or 64. And here it is now, 1981 or 82, and this clown got gunned down. But you want me to tell you something about that? I was manipulated because he had my hood pumped. When I say pumped, I mean, how you gonna let this guy move in the hood and y'all gonna tell me the reason why y'all let him in the hood because he was busting on the great streets with y'all? Check this out. Once a Crip, always a Crip. Guess who told me that? Runaway, Q102. When I moved in their hood in 81, the summer of 81, I tried to plead my case with them. I'm fresh out of San Quentin. I'm inside of an apartment over there with Cotton Candy, better known as Niecy. Yes, she was messing with a Main Street Crip named Little Man. Rest in peace. He even came to my apartment and asked for it. I told her I wasn't insecure. You know what I'm saying? My father was the manager of the apartments over there by the Flying Souls, Trapeze, over there by that liquor store over there off of 103rd in Avalon, over there by McDonald's, over there off of Century. Nothing but Crips all through there. And they was sweating me too. But I stayed strapped. I wouldn't try to catch no case off of them. Because even though Runaway gave me up after I gave him a pass coming through my hood back in the 70s, he gonna betray me and tell all the Crips over there that I'm fraud. You know what I'm saying? But this is how he got me though. One day, I'm walking through the hood, their hood, Q102 hood on Avalon. My apartment is right next to the liquor store on the corner over there by Winchell Donuts. And all the Crips is hanging out there. So I used to walk past them. They didn't even know who I was until one day Runaway was standing right there. And guess what? He clowned me and hollered out, "Frog!" And I turned around looking at him, and all the Crips was looking back at me. And they had me. They knew I was Bounty Hunter Frog for the Nickerson Garden. And Big Pee, oh man, he threw a nutty on my apartment, man. Talk about blowing it up because the Bounty Hunters shot his apartment up in the Nickerson Garden back in 1973. And now here it is, fast forward, 81. He want to blow my apartment off the map. But I had a gauge and a 38. So I was cool. You know what I'm saying? So no cocktails never came through my apartment. But Herman the Monster, he was the only bounty hunter that came through there and checked on me. You know what I'm saying? Because wasn't nobody going to come way on Avalon and Q102 hood to check on me. You know what I'm saying? I was on my own. But yeah, he came through and made sure I was all right. And I respect him for that. He did check on me. He came all the way through there and hollered at me. You know what I'm saying? Everything was cool. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up leaving the premises anyway. I stayed there for the whole summer, all the way from like July, all the way to like January. Then I end up back in the projects, gunning Eightball down. So that's the end of this story.